Hello everyone, this is Marcel, your favorite serpent on the web, talking about MGTOW, men going their own way, and how it's affected or influenced my life, my thoughts on it. I'll start by saying that when I was young, I was picked on. Furthermore, I've been kind of raised to be something of a beta male, in the sense that I cater to women and I cater to people. I want to make everybody around me happy, or at least I used to. I used to focus so much on everyone else's happiness that I kind of forgot my own. Having been raised by a single mother, I was always taught to pull out the chair, open the door, and pay for the meal every single time, because that is what is expected me as a male. Without any masculine influence to counter that behavioral training, it was all that I had to go off of. As I got older, the women I would meet at random, just living my life, would pick up on the fact that I had that personality and exploit it. And I say that they exploited it because when I would go out to a friend date with somebody that I was not actually a boyfriend to, they would expect or allow me to pay for everything, to treat them to everything, to cater to whatever they wanted to do without really much of a regard to what I was interested or what I wanted to do. Now, I'm not saying that I expected anything in return for their company, for my company. I didn't expect them to sleep with me just because I went out with them, but they were expecting more than what the average person would think from a boyfriend, from a romantic interest, and they were keeping me friend-zoned and expected me to continue playing that role while paying for everything under the guise of showing mild or minor interest in me. They would keep me around just enough and show me just enough attention to keep me sort of in that state of limbo, like I don't know what I am, but I want to keep trying to cater to them to hopefully at some point have them actually agree to be my girlfriend. So I'm sure there's a lot of you at this point that are thinking, well, that's how it works, you know, the guy pays for the date and he gets the joy of the woman's company. But I'm going to call bullshit on that, because what is my company worth? What am I worth? Is the fact that I'm there and going out with this person, does that mean nothing? I mean, do I have to pay for somebody's company? And I'm not advocating that every date should necessarily be Dutch. I'm just calling bullshit on the fact that it's expected for just the fact that I happen to be a male that my company is worthless. Furthermore, with all the interactions that I had with women in this sense, the ones that led to actually becoming a relationship is almost zero. Anytime that I behaved like a beta male and I catered to them and did whatever they wanted to do and paid for everything, it never led to anything. The only time I ever actually got attention, now granted this is just my experience, maybe that's my personality, but when they started giving me attention is when I told them to fuck off. When I actually stood my ground and said, no, I'm worth something. This is not going to happen where you're going to walk all over me. It maybe not in so many words, but when I stood up for myself, I actually got a lot more attention and a lot more respect out of even sometimes the same women that had previously not given me the light of day. I'm not going to focus this video on whether or not women want a bad boy. That should be an entirely separate video, because that's a whole nother subject. The point is that the harder that I tried, the more money that I spent, the more energy I invested in any of these people, these women, the less I got out of it, in the sense of how much they cared about me and what they thought of me based upon my perception. Undoing that programming has been one of the hardest things in my life. Even just last week, I went out on a friend date with a girl who managed to get me to pay for the dinner. I even confronted her afterwards, because I've known her for a year or two now, on why is it that a guy is expected to pay for everything. And her response kind of surprised me. She says, well, I thought that all guys wanted to pay for dinner. They wanted to pay for stuff for girls. She actually was under this delusion that people just want to give her money, like them giving her money and stuff makes them happy. They feel good about it. And not that just giving it to other people makes them happy, but them giving it to her makes them happy. And this was a girl that I'd gone out shooting with a couple of times and done some other outdoor activities with. And when I asked her if we were going to hang out again towards the end of the date, she looks at me and she says, "Sure, but next time let's see if it's cool. I'm going to bring my cousin and his friends and this and that." And so she wanted to do kind of like a family event that was catered by me. I was entertaining them. Needless to say, for me at least, the whole dating thing has been a really toxic influence in my life. And it got to a point where I was actually spending hundreds of dollars a month going out on dates with people that were considering themselves my friends. The day that I decided that I wasn't going to do that anymore, that not that I wasn't going to be willing to pay for having some lunch or something with someone, rather that I wasn't interested in playing that game, that I wasn't going to go out and pay for people's attention, give them prizes and goodies in return for them spending their company with me, it was like a cramp let go. I hadn't even realized I was putting so much time, energy, and financial resources into trying to entertain women. All of a sudden, I have all these resources I can put into my hobbies and my interests. I'm doing more traveling. I can finally start posting all the videos on subjects that I've wanted to talk about for so long. It was then that I realized how much culture and even family have pressured me over the years to behave in a certain way. I'm getting backlash from my mother. I'm getting backlash from my siblings telling me that I need to not be MGTOW, that I need to go out and date and be normal and spend all that time and energy on women even though it really wasn't getting me anywhere. So I want to point out something about MGTOW without getting too close to a no true Scotsman fallacy, is that if feminists and MRAs were fighting in a building about their rights, a MGTOW is the one who's walking out the back door saying screw it. He is the one who's walked away from the dating game and doesn't feel that any of it is worth it, that basically he wants to focus on himself as opposed to doing what society tells him to do. I do not see it as hating women or being so burned and bitter that you don't ever want to deal with dating again. I see it as a completely natural reaction to the biased and unbalanced pressures that are put on men in today's society. And unless something changes, it's a very good possibility that we're going to be seeing more and more MGTOW. And when that starts to take effect on how many men are actually available for the women out there, it's going to generate a lot more attention. So give me your thoughts. Comment down below. Is this something that more people should be doing? Is it something we should change? If you want to learn more information / perspectives on MGTOW, check out Sandman or MGTOW 101. Links down below. If you like my videos so far, you know what to do.